a couple bars of signal. About to go in and do some motor pool maintenance, but just wanted to give a testament to the level of security that I experienced going to the Straitway Truth Ministries Dallas meetup, located, in Dallas, Texas. And this is a shout out to the brothers that led the training for the security team. This is a shout out to the entire security team, as I had an opportunity amongst fellowshipping with a lot of brothers and sisters that was there, but to fellowship with the security team. And one thing that drove it home is when the teaching was over. Great teaching, by the way. Great teaching. Never experienced anything like that in my life in Christendom. But when the teaching was over and it was time to circle through and get food, the sisters were serving food and the security team went first. Okay? And the sisters, I remember hearing two sisters thank the security team for making them feel so secure. And at that moment, I said, man, I'm not the only one that sees this. Okay? Man, I've been on several combat deployments, first deployment engaged in, several conflicts. And I've seen high levels of security when politicians, vice presidents, come into a theater environment, a deployment area, and they generally have operators that have been hand selected to secure them. Locking down the airfield. You need elevated security. And I've been a part of, the communication package and stuff like that, and had the opportunity to experience this. But I'll tell you, man, I don't know if there is another ministry on the face of this earth that cares as much about your salvation to where they make sure the attention to detail on security is spot on. And we see biblically, Abraham had trained servants. We see the Most High Yah is a Yah of war. And just to be in the presence, to be able to focus and not worry about any of that stuff that happens in these Christian churches, because these brothers had it on lock. Man, I could sit there and watch. Being somebody that's been around some of this training, I know how to recognize when somebody is scanning sectors of fire and things like that. I know and can recognize the hand language. So I tell you, hey, TJ Clemens said, glad you got to experience a piece of Straitway, brother. And it was, I tell you, I'm taking my notes and I'm compiling it. So when I do my overview of this Dallas meetup, I'm hitting all the right points. But just talking to some of the security detail that was there, I was talking to one brother fellowshipping, and he was still able to engage in conversation. Head was still on a swivel. That doesn't come overnight. That does not come overnight. Man, I remember probably out of about 3 hours worth of teaching, it truly felt like 15 minutes. But I remember I leaned over during Shepherd's teaching to grab a chapstick. And I'm in a constant mode of surveillance. And I saw the attention to detail as I made the body gesture, and that's the kind of stuff that you want. I was just trying to lubricate these chapped lips. But it was amazing to see brothers trained to that level, and I know man, I know that ministry is secure. 100% hands down. I've been a part, the second to last Christian church before I came out that I attended, they had a security detail, but there was no validation of proficiency. There was no, okay, let's put you through the gauntlet, let's put you through the ringer, let's make sure you're proficient and competent at understanding security measures and protocols. And, you know, some of these people that were on the security team back when I was in Christendom might have had an hour and a half worth of firearm experience at most. You see what I'm saying? So if you are around this stuff for any length of time, you know how to spot it. You know how to spot it. And, you know, shout out to whoever trained them. You know, if it was Brother Gideon who goes by Ranger, if it was Frogman, whoever put their hands on that training, and then listening to the brothers talk about, you know, 002 or 003, that course that they went through, I would tell you, man, if you are near Straitway and are not taking advantage of that training, man, you're missing out. Because not only is it going to make you a more fundamentally sound man in the aspects of protection, but I'll tell you, in 17 years of military experience, I've only gotten high levels of training like that probably one time when as a drill sergeant I had the opportunity to go to the advanced marksmanship course, where this was taught by a ranger, taught by an operator. So taught by somebody that's not just ranger qualified, but somebody that's actually qualified and a part of their operations. And that's the only time. And that was over a course of about 2 weeks. It was an 80-hour course. And I would tell you, if you have the opportunity to get that training, some of the guys were surprised in some of our conversations, and I was saying, like, you know, that sleep deprivation, and like, you don't get that in the normal track of military progression unless you're going into one of these special skill sets, or if you're in higher levels of combat arms. So I noticed that, man, and it was a great feeling to know that people could assemble and nothing was gonna break out. And if something did break out, I'm telling you, when you look at men that have been trained and are tactically sound, man, you know, we just saw recently the head of the Secret Service pretty much avoid all accountability. And looking at that, I tell you that Straitway Truth Ministries, I'm willing to bet, has a better security team than some of these people that the Secret Service are kicking at, are pushing forth. I'd be willing to put my money on it, that they got a better security team. Because when you look at what happened with President Trump and him having a pick of the litter of the best, and then for that kind of stuff to break out, you know, I tell you, man, I can't even put enough words behind it, because those people that were probably residing in the place where we did the event don't even realize how secure that building was. You know, somebody who has a high level of security clearance, man, I haven't experienced that level of security. I've only experienced that maybe once or twice in my life over the course of 17 years of military experience. And I tell you, when the word says Abraham armed his trained servants, man, that is Straitway True Ministry security team is nothing less than trained servants. And for the sisters to be able to point that out, they felt it. So I said, man, I know I'm not the only one, and I just wanted to share that with you because you're not going to get that anywhere else. You're not going to experience that anywhere else. These people don't care enough about your salvation to protect you while you're getting in the Word, and that's an aspect they often leave void when it comes to spiritual warfare. When that spiritual warfare turns physical and them demons start manifesting, you have to be ready for that action. And I'll tell you, firsthand, first encounter, I saw some brothers that was 100% locked in. No matter what was going on in the service, Brother Gideon constantly swiveling the room, making sure nothing breaks off. Brother McNabb swiveling the room. You're not going to get that anywhere else. And I'm used to, being a service member. I'm strapped everywhere I go. If I'm going somewhere that's far away from my home, I'm bringing extra ammo. I'm bringing all of that. So it was such a pleasure and an honor to see that level of attention to detail being put forth behind protecting the unadulterated truth of the Most High Yah. So shout out to the entire Straitway Truth Ministries security detail, a security team. It was a pleasure fellowshipping with you guys. So just wanted to give you a shout out. Stay encouraged, Israel. I speak to this, so if you are a man out there and you got a family, man, protection is priceless. Protection is priceless, and you can't protect, your family, your loved ones, or you can't protect anybody if you haven't put that to the test, if you haven't been trained to ensure that you have a high level of proficiency. So in all the links in the description in my videos, I have links to opticsplanets.com, save you 5 to 10% on tactical gear and equipment. And as Shep said, man, little by little, man, get your level of proficiency where it needs to be so you can be that protector as a man. It sucks because I know there's a lot of sisters that out there in the world that think that they have a protector, and they don't because these men haven't been tried, true, and tested. But Straitway Truth Ministries security team tried, true, and tested, and it was an absolute pleasure. And I will do a follow-up just letting you know some things that I experienced. It was a beautiful experience to be able to take part in. So hope you guys have a blessed day. Labor with these hands, get some stuff done, and see you at the next Shabbat. Closer to Yah Ministries, kicking it gun barrel straight.